there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. I'm back with the 15th volume of Dragon Ball Z in my read-through. I've read the first 3 volumes of Dragon Ball proper, but I'm reading this because it's what's in the house, and this is the one that all my students talk about. If you watch the previous videos, you know all this. I have to admit, at this point, I'm having a hard time finding the point of making videos anymore. I'm not going to give up reading, but I feel like I'm running out of things to say in the videos other than just covering plot points, especially because it's turning into like what I feared it was, which is just a lot of fighting and endless power-ups. But I've got this volume, I've made my notes, so we're going to go through this one, and then basically my whole read-through of Dragon Ball Z here is trying to figure out what makes it so popular, and I'm not getting it. I just see that there's lots of other things that do the same stuff better and less cheesy. So I don't know. I don't feel like I'm finding what I was looking for in this, and doing videos, I don't know, it's not going to help. So if I find something, I'll come back and do a video about it, but I'll wrap up with this volume in terms of video. So we left off with this new creature, Cell, showing up. The design of Shell is actually pretty cool. I like the monster design on this thing. I think it really helps to have it articulate at all the joints like that. That helps with Toriyama's blocky style. It also helps, like, from the perspective of, this is where I have a hard time checking into the book, is like it's pretty obviously designed to be something that could very easily be made into a toy. And that's how a lot of the book feels at this point, is they know it's this mass market property. And so they're just introducing things that can become new toys or whatever. So that's kind of what Cell looks like to me, but getting some cool action stuff. The action stuff's getting better. At this point in the story, the Cell creature says, that means the Dragon Balls are gone and nobody will come back to life if they die, which is like an attempt to raise the stakes again and make people actually care. But at this point in the story, like, too many people have come back too many times, so I'm not really sold on that. It's not very impactful. I always start to enjoy the book more when things slow down a little bit. I especially like these scenes where we're entering into a city and you get some environment that adds some sense of stakes to this, like having Capsule Corps still around. All of these things that now I understand are part of the bigger world from having read the first 3 volumes of Dragon Ball. It seems like there's a bigger, more interesting world with a lot of characters. Like, there's some old Dr. Garo, I believe is what they call him, that made all of these androids. So there's old rivalries coming up. And in that sense, I find this kind of more interesting. I just haven't read that stuff. So as starting to see Dragon Ball Z as the continuation of Dragon Ball, which I know it is. We chop it up in the United States. Maybe helps me understand the power of the property a little bit more, because it's so compelling early on, and then you got the fans, and then they just watch these characters grow up. I could see people getting into that. I'm just a artist first type of person, and I don't get so invested in the characters, so I don't really give a shit what happened to Goku when he grew up, unless it's a good story. And I don't find the story of grown-up Goku as interesting as what I read of the earlier stuff. But I could see getting sucked into it and just not being able to give up. And it feels a bit like that's what happened to Toriyama too. Like he's talking in the beginning of this volume about, I mostly draw at home with my kids now. I barely even ever go into work. And he just seems checked out. A bit like Goku in these stories. The stories always have Goku, oh, you're awake. It's like, okay, I'm awake, but now I need to go train for a year. But it's okay. I know somewhere where I can go train for a year and a day. But he's kind of always this absentee father. He's always checked out. Everyone else is always taking care of things, hoping that Goku will show up and finish the job. So I don't find him to be a very compelling character. I find him to be a pretty awful example in general. And then, yeah, here, it's like he's been woken up and there's this super awful thing that's beating everyone up. And, well, I don't think there's any other way I can win. I'll go train for another year. And it's like every volume, every storyline, he's got to go train for a year, which is pretty annoying. You're getting like the very childish thing here where, you know, all these huge fireballs blow this character up. And it's like, oh, he's got a force field. And I'm just waiting for someone to be like, I've got a force field cracking Hami, Kame, whatever the fuck the balls are. We got another, what is this, like in Dragon Ball Z alone, this is the 4th or 5th time Piccolo's had his chest punched out, heart ripped out, blown out. Don't really care. He's obviously not going to die, and even if he did, I wouldn't believe that it was going to stay. We got some interesting action here where the number 16 robot comes in. One of the things that I do find interesting about the structure of the story is that, especially going back now to Dragon Ball itself and seeing the first 3 volumes of that, it seems like one of the themes is that Goku's always turning enemies into precarious allies, but they're all still waiting around to kick his ass. Maybe that's what keeps people going, is like, when is Goku finally going to defeat all these people or something? I don't know, but everyone always seems to like eventually team up. Like, here you have the androids who they're trying to defeat, but he's trying to kill this Cell character because the Cell character is also trying to absorb them. Here you get a scene of Cell absorbing one of the androids. I think that's number 17. And I kind of like this here where his tail goes from being this poker thing to like this big just suction cup. It's a pretty silly design, but it's kind of a fun idea. And then that allows him to make his transformation, not his final transformation, but a transformation to another stage. So this idea of all these characters going through 3, 4, 5 transformations as they level up also is like, just to me, a really crass, like, oh, now we can make a toy of this one too. You know, we got Super Saiyan Goku and regular Goku, and we got regular Cell and powered up Cell and extra Mega Cell or whatever. So I don't know. At this point, that's what the book reads like to me, is a book that is being made up on the spot each week by the author who has no idea where it's going, and the main thing is just to keep it going, have a new battle, and have some new designs to make a toy off of. And I don't, like I said, I don't find his character design when it comes to action figure type of figures very compelling. I find him to be a much more interesting designer when it comes to the cartoon stuff, the round rubbery characters, like this kind of technology and that, all the stuff that you see in Dragon Ball. So that's probably all I'm going to say just over and over, besides touching on plot points. And at this point in time, like, plot points are like, I don't know, he didn't die probably. Oh, he got beat up. So I'm going to keep reading it. I've read about and reviewed about halfway through. Like I've said in the past couple of videos, if someone has something for me about why is this such a persistent property in the world's most popular manga, one of the biggest animes of all time, I would like to know what it is. But I think, yeah, I don't need to keep making videos on these unless I find something that answers that question in later volumes. And I do really look forward to talking about Dragon Ball proper. I think me and Sean are going to do a video on that first omnibus that he lent me. So look forward to that coming up too. If you've been sitting here being like, fuck, just read Dragon Ball, quit reading Dragon Ball Z, I've started reading it, and I like it better, but I also have some thoughts on that one to share, so that should be interesting.